I made the gargantuan mistake of seeing this film on an empty stomach. Food. Chef is written by, directed by, and starring Jon Favreau, as well as Sofia Vergara, John Leguizamo, Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, Oliver Platt. All of these really great people are in this film. It's really actually a fantastic cast, one of the better casts of the year. And what this film is about is a chef played by Jon Favreau, and he's in the middle of a bit of a struggle because he works for a great restaurant. He's kind of under the illusion that he can make whatever he wants, but Dustin Hoffman, who plays the store owner, has more of a hold on him than he wishes. Because of various things, he decides, you know what, this isn't for me. I'm going to start a food truck. I'm going to travel around the world and make awesome food for people. And he takes his son along with him in an attempt to bond with him. And what we get is a great feel-good comedy and food. Do you like food? Of course you like food. Why am I even asking this? Do not see this movie if you have not eaten beforehand, because this movie is food porn. Food looks incredible in this movie. The things that are prepared, the things that people eat. As soon as this movie ended, my fiance and I went to a restaurant, the closest restaurant we could find, and we just ate food because we were just like, we need to eat food right now. And I gotta give props to my fiance because I wasn't actually gonna see this movie. But she was like, you know what, want to see a movie today? Hey, what about this movie Chef that's playing nearby? And I was like, Chef, I forgot all about Chef. I wanted to talk about it, I wanted to review it, and I completely forgot it in the mix of all the blockbusters that have been coming out lately. And I feel bad that I didn't review it when I had the opportunity to a couple weeks ago, because this is a really good movie. It's a movie that not only is a lot of fun for me to watch because I do have an interest in cooking, I do have an interest in food. I've always liked to cook. My fiance likes to cook. My parents like to cook. We like to cook, and it's really cool to watch people who really know what they're doing in a kitchen. And this movie has a really awesome way of making you feel as if you're in that kitchen, showing you what it's like to go to different places on this food truck, to experience different cultures, the music, the sights, the sounds, and of course the food. But one of the greatest things about this movie is that the human characters behind all of that seem so real. Jon Favreau did an excellent job at capturing characters and dialogue and situations and scenes that did not feel set up. They didn't feel faked. The dialogue in this movie flows, and it feels so improvisational at times that you really feel almost like you're watching a documentary. The relationship between Jon Favreau and his young son, who by the way gives a very good performance in this movie, was very sweet and very endearing, did not feel sappy or forced. I had this theory that almost anything that a movie could be about can be good if you have characters doing this thing that are interesting, characters that seem relatable, that you actually care about, that you want to see succeed, you know? And in this film, you have that. Also, Jon Favreau in this movie really surprised me as an actor. This is by far, in my opinion, his best performance. He's got layers in this movie. Sorry for that horrible imitation of Christopher Walken. But in all honesty, he really was great in this movie, and he did such a great job balancing all of the duties he had in this film. And I gotta say, John Leguizamo, who I have kind of given some beef in the past, you know, he's not always my favorite part of movies. He was very good in this movie, and his character definitely added a lot of good comedy to the film. Despite not having a huge role, Dustin Hoffman did a very good job with the scenes that he was in. There are definitely parts of this movie where you can tell that Jon Favreau knows people involved in Marvel and the Avengers, because he's got Scarlett Johansson and Robert Downey Jr. in brief roles. That also kind of added to one of my problems with the movie. It was very entertaining to see them on screen, but I didn't really feel like their characters had much of an arc or really any real importance in the movie. Downey Jr.'s in one scene, and he did great in that scene, so I'm not really as concerned about that. But Scarlett Johansson actually has a fairly large part in the first and second act of this film, but I didn't really feel like her character had an arc to her, and I was kind of wondering what happened with her. As a feel-good comedy, this is one of the best I've seen in a while, and it's so cool to see these guys make this awesome food that just makes your mouth water. I'm gonna give Chef an A-. I really do think it is a very good feel-good comedy, one of the best I've seen in a while, and especially one of the better films revolving around cooks that I've seen in a long time. I would suggest checking out Chef if it's playing in a theater near you, but do not see it on an empty stomach. Be sure to not make the same mistake I did, because you're going to be drooling the entire time. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you saw the film, I'm interested in knowing what you thought, and as always, if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.